The Holy Mountain is an important mythological motif for the world axis and celestial pole that's found in many religions. It's easy to see why mountains were chosen as symbols of the celestial pole. They almost appear to stretch all the way to the summit of heaven. Mount Olympus from Greece, Mount Meru from India and Mount Zion from the Bible are the best known axial mountains. Other important axial mountains from around the world include Kunlun in China, Fujiyama in Japan and Potala in Tibet. Mount Kaf fulfills the same role in Islamic mythology and Mount Sumeru in Buddhism. Sumerian mythology had a holy hill or mountain called Duku that may have served the same purpose. Sky gods were often the chief deities in ancient pantheons, and they were often closely linked to holy mountains. In Canaanite religion, the god Baal is always associated with his holy mountain Zaphon, which was also the Canaanite word for north. The Baal cycle has the god state, "I myself shall reveal it in the middle of my mountain, the divine Zaphon of the north, in the holy place." Some Ugaritic texts refer to the Canaanite gods as the gods of Zaphon. Mount Tabor in Israel is mentioned in both the Old and New Testaments. The name Tabor most probably derives from the Hebrew word Tabor, meaning navel or omphalos. In ancient Sumer, the sky god Enlil was the chief god. His main temple was at Nippur, was called Ikur, which translates as mountain house. It was also referred to as the mooring post of heaven and earth. Sumerian texts refer to Enlil by the title the Great Mountain. In Indian lore, the holy mountain is expressly linked to the world axis. The seven-sided Mount Meru is situated under the pole star at the centre of the world. The god Indra lives on top of Mount Meru. Out of all the Indian gods, he is the sky and storm god most similar to Yahweh, Baal and Zeus. In Sanskrit, the name of the pole star Siddhishti literally means that which never moves. This translation of the Sanskrit is very similar to Homer's description of Mount Olympus in the Odyssey. Olympus, where they say, the god's abode stands fast forever. In the 4th century, the Emperor Julian quoted this passage, noting that it referred to the very apex of the sky. Plato also described Mount Olympus in ways that could equate it to Mount Meru and the world axis. In the Critias, Plato wrote that Mount Olympus stands at the centre of the universe and looks out over the whole realm of change. In the Dionysica, Nonnus wrote of the centre of the universe, the navel star of Olympus. In the Bible, the Book of Psalms depicts Mount Zion in similar terms. Those who trust in Yahweh are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved, but which stands fast forever. The Psalms often place Yahweh at his holy mountain. A good example of this is, "I call out to Yahweh, he answers me from his holy mountain." Isaiah likewise claims that he is sent by Yahweh of hosts, who dwells on Mount Zion. The Book of Jubilees is a Jewish text from the 2nd century BCE. It states that the Garden of Eden is the Holy of Holies, and the dwelling of the Lord, and Mount Sinai the centre of the desert, and Mount Zion the centre of the navel of the earth. These three were created as holy places facing each other. All three places are linked to the concept of omphalos and world axis. The Jewish text 1 Enoch also mentions the navel of the earth using the metaphor of a holy mountain. "And from here I went to the middle of the earth, and I saw a blessed place where there were branches which rooted in and sprouted out of a tree that was cut, and here I saw a holy mountain." The holy mountain is also the home of the gods in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Tablet 5 informs us that they saw the mountain of Cedar, seat of gods and goddesses' thrones. We meet the motif of the holy mountain many times in the Bible. Many of the pivotal events in both the Old and New Testament happen on a mountain. Noah's Ark comes to rest on a mountain after the deluge. Abraham follows Yahweh's orders to sacrifice Isaac on Mount Moriah. Moses receives the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai, and the prophets' visions all place the heavenly Jerusalem on a mountain. Jesus is transfigured on a high mountain next to Moses and Elijah, where Yahweh calls him son. Jesus' most important teachers were from the Sermon on the Mount, and he is crucified on Mount Golgotha. Finally, Jesus ascends to heaven from a mountain.